Right now in England, 1 in 5 children have special educational needs. That's over 1.7 million children. Children who learn differently, children who have spent years feeling that in one way or another that they're not quite good enough, that they're not keeping up and they're not fitting in. And the system that's supposed to support them is under enormous pressure, funding shortfalls running into billions, families waiting months, sometimes years for help for their children's needs, tribunal cases at a record high, because parents are having to fight just to get their child seen. And these aren't statistics, they're children. They're children that I've sat with. They're children that I've watched go from believing that they're stupid to believing sometimes for the first time that actually they can do it. And that's where you come in because maybe been thinking about tutoring for a while. Maybe you have a background in education or a subject that you love, or a deep belief that every child deserves someone in their corner. Maybe you've seen a child struggle and thought, I could help with that. But then comes the question that nobody tells you how to answer. How do I actually build this dream into something real? Because wanting to help children and knowing how to run a tutoring business are two very different things. The resources, the safeguarding, the marketing, the lesson planning, the SEND support, the paperwork, the policies, it's a lot to figure out alone. And I know because I did figure it out alone. I started Clara James Tutoring back in 2012. I wasn't a qualified teacher. I had a degree through the Open University and over a decade of experience working in various different educational settings. But I also had an absolute conviction that children weren't failing, they were just being taught in ways that didn't necessarily work for them. The name Clara James comes from my oldest two children, Clara and Jamie. And then the logo is an angel, which is my youngest daughter's name, because from the very beginning, this was personal. The ethos was simple, just treat every child as if they were your own. And every child is different. That needs to be celebrated and not ironed out. We cannot teach children as if they're clones. We have to support the child that's sitting in front of us, not a generic preconception of what a child should be. And that belief has driven everything that we've done over the past 14 years and is the foundation of everything a Clara James tutoring franchisee carries with them into every single lesson. The Clara James franchise is designed to help caring people build a successful tutoring business without having to figure it all out alone. When you join, you don't just receive training, you gain access to a complete support system built from over 14 years of running Clara James Tutoring and more than 25 years of working within education. This means proven systems, SEND training, safeguarding guidance, marketing support, business mentoring, policies, and a growing library of over 300 resources. Resources that I've built, tested, and used with real children over real years. But most importantly, you'll have someone to turn to when questions arise, when challenges appear, or when your confidence wobbles, because they will. It's not a warning, it's just the truth of building something that matters. And this isn't a franchise where you're handed a manual and you're told to just get on with it. It's more of a partnership. You have my access to my experience, my support, my guidance, and my encouragement as you build a tutoring business that you can be proud of. Because whilst resources and training are important, confidence often comes from knowing that you're not doing it alone. And I think that you probably already know that it's likely that you were drawn to tutoring in the first place because you understand what it's like for a child to genuinely believe that they have someone in their corner. And that's what I want to be for you. Because with over 1.2 million children currently receiving SEND support in schools without specialist provision, without enough hours in the day for teachers to give them what they need, the demand for skilled, compassionate one-to-one tutoring has never been greater. Children with an EHCP are already 27 months behind their peers by the end of primary school. And that's nearly 40 months behind by the end of secondary school. And those gaps don't close themselves. But a tutor who genuinely cares, who shows up prepared, who adapts, who doesn't give up when the first explanation doesn't land, who finds the way in for that specific child, can change the trajectory of not just their life, but the ripple effect thereafter. And I've seen it, I've lived it. I have a drawer full of messages from parents that remind me of it in the days when I need reminding. So If you're someone who believes that every child deserves to be understood, if you want to build something meaningful, something flexible, something that's yours without starting from scratch, if you want less time guessing and more time actually doing the work that you actually care about, then I'd love to have a conversation. Our goal has always been simple: build confidence as well as knowledge in the children we support and in the people who are supporting them. Come and be a part of that.